You're getting a look at the most famous building in Foxborough. Opened in 2002, it's Gillette Stadium. Coming up, we're keeping things in the AFC for an intra-conference contest between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New England Patriots.
To kick off for New England.
Andres Borregales ready to get us started. And we're off from Foxborough. On the return, here comes Reed. He stopped on the run back at the 27.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. No run here with Amari on Hampton. He scrapes together a yard at most. It's 2nd down.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Here's Herbert. Completed over the middle. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop it. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's going to give the Chargers a 1st down.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
1st and 10 from the 43.
Set, go.
Running it with Hampton. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. It doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. From the pistol, it's Herbert. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And now it's 3rd down.
No real secret. They were going to get him and his height involved early there, Kate. The secret was, how is he going to be defended? Well, they chose to go physical. And that will plant a little thought in his mind. The next time the ball comes his way, he better be ready for some contact.
On 3rd down, Herbert. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to be across midfield, close to the 45 before going out. 7 yards on that pickup. And that's going to be good for an LA 1st down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
1st and 10 now from the 46. Hampton gets it from the pistol. Good defensive effort here. Drives them back across midfield onto their own side.
Stay on schedule. SOS. We talk about it all the time offensively. You've got to stay on schedule, and a run like that puts you now so far behind the sticks. Going to take some superhuman effort now on 2nd down.
Back to their own side of the field now, Brock. This is 2nd and long. Play action now for Herbert. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
Really had to find a way to get that short completion because now you're staring at 3rd and extra long. That's a place no QB in this league wants to be.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
When they were in their defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go, and let that pass rush get home.
And this hits at the full before taking a bounce into the end zone. And that's a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
New England bringing the offense to the line. 1st and 10. Right to the air with May. And his game will begin with an incomplete pass. He was searching for Kyle Williams that time. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. He had him, Brock. Throw was on target. Gotta help your guy out early in the game, right?
Yeah, it's not on the quarterback. I think we can all see that that was a catchable ball. But I've got a feeling he'll volunteer to take some of the blame anyway. That's just the way he's wired.
And they're going to force him out just before he can get to the 35. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
They'll run it with Travion Henderson. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11. The line between safeties and linebackers gets real blurred on plays like that, Brock. He handled that one just like a Mike would have.
Yeah, if injuries were to ever crop up, Kate, I bet he could handle the linebacker spot for them as well. Just tremendous diagnosis in that run support.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. May now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Henderson's going to get it on 3rd down. Ooh, this one does not have a chance. They were ready for that one, and the effort brings up 4th down.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate's training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
before that return amounts to much. They bring him down.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Chargers getting set. First and 10. Here's Hampton to open the drive. He's taken down, but not before he gets this one at the 41. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know you can set the table for more.
Big shot to begin the drive has him up beyond the 40. First and 10, Herbert. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So it'll be second down.
The defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up. It cost him that catch.
It's Hampton on second. Well, a lot of effort there, partner, but no results. He fought through that one stop, but only managed to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
Third down, and they need to get 10. They send a tight end in motion. Third and long for him here. This is Brown, and he's got it downfield. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks. Double coverage, deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's a target you trust.
You know, it's interesting, Kate, even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done regardless.
And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
The first carry now for Jonathan Brooks. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
They go play action. Here's Herbert. He's got it at the 6. And he's going to be hauled down at the 2. That sets up first and goal.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
They've got 3 tight ends on this first and goal, thinking run or play action. Hampton gets in. Touchdown, LA. The Chargers go up 6-0 here in the first. Well, we all knew what was coming when they got into that goal line formation, didn't we, Brock? And they just pound the rock in for an old-school touchdown.
I just sometimes love that stuff. Nothing fancy, nothing cute. Here's our formation. You know we're running right at you, and we challenge you to stop us, and you can't.
The Chargers kicking team out, and they'll send this away. And he mishit this one badly. It's out of bounds short of the 40, and they're going to take over. at that spot. First down from the 42.
Here goes tonight.
Here's the pistol snap to May. Setting up the screen with Henderson. And they're going to get to him after a gain of close to 5 as they send him out.
Dude, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. But one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Some pass brought in. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
That's good for a Patriots first down.
So while they're in the huddle, partner, we've arrived at the end of our first quarter. 7-0 is our score. More from Gillette Stadium in just a minute. Back and ready now for the second quarter. It's Patriots football. They've got a first to begin the frame. They go play action. Here's May. Connects on the crosser. He's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out. So a 27-yard pickup on that play. And the Patriots will have a first down.
At the 20-yard line.
Here goes tonight.
From the red zone now. He's got a man left. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
That's not a big completion on a stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
5 still to go here. This is second down.
Here goes tonight.
Henderson here from the gun. And this is going to make it down to the 6. That's going to set him up with first and goal.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
What's that? Hey, what's up? Crazy. Crazy.
They'll try and punch it in. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on first and goal. That goose egg up on the scoreboard, Brock, that is not going away anytime soon if they keep having plays like that.
They really need something. An injection of energy here. Nothing will take the spark out of a series quite like getting stuck for a loss.
Backed up to the 8 here. It's second and goal. Operating from the gun. Here's May. Has it in close. Touchdown, New England. The Patriots start to fight back with their first points of this game. Demario Douglas with the touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. And he sure did.
Andres Borregales to kick off for New England.
Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Okay, well, that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. To the line on first and 10. Chargers beneficiaries of some good field position.
Set. Ready. Route.
Hampton gets the handoff. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Now Herbert to throw. Looking slant route complete. And before he can reach the first, he's stopped. But this is close. Ball up to the 45-yard line.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Back to throw, here's Herbert. Got for big yards on the right side. And they make the tackle at the 38. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's going to give the Chargers a first down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
New set of downs for him. They'll start at the 38. Here's Herbert, 1st and 10. Downfield, and he has McConkey. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that's going to be good for an LA first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
They keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Now an inside give to Hampton. So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run to prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL. But it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock him behind the sticks. Job well done there.
A momentary speed bump there on what has otherwise been a great drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Back to Hampton. And a decent run gets about 4. It's going to be 3rd down.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
Play number 7 on this drive, and they need 7 here on 3rd down. They'll throw, 3rd and long. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Patriots will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's May. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
2nd down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. Shotgun handoff to Henderson. And some nice running there, gets him 8. 3rd down coming up.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
3rd and just 2 to go. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
His work begins at the 31. And it ends up a good return for him, up past their own 40.
at their own 43-yard line.
So the Chargers start off with good field position as they get ready for 1st and 10.
Ready.
A play fake. Now Herbert to throw. A throw left side, caught by Brown. And he's going to be hauled out on a gain across midfield, down inside the 45-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
Finding Brown back-to-back plays. And he nearly gets them into the red zone as he's down at the 22. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. Hampton now up the middle. And some solid running here as he gets him 8 yards. They're into the red zone.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Again, it's Hampton. And he's going to be dropped with a big hit at the end of that. But the effort still sets him up with a 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. On the counter, it's Hampton. So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. 2nd and goal coming up. He is quickly making a habit out of wrecking plays, Brock, and it doesn't seem to matter what type of play that is.
It's what the best of them do. We talk about just the versatility of offensive players being dual threats. This guy's a dual threat against the pass, and that time stuffing the run.
And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Timeout called by the Chargers. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Last play stopped short. Still 3 yards to gain. 3rd and goal. Going power with the big tight end. And this is going to end behind the line. Brock, a great stop down in close. Well, let's see if they want to risk it here on 4th and goal. The Chargers selected to try for the field goal. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. Pick by Davis is up, and it's good. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
Going to feel just a little bit better going into halftime. Anytime you score points right before the final frame, and for the kicker, well, he pays off his teammates' hard work.
Now here's Davis to kick this away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
And even 20 seconds left at their disposal on the final drive of this half. To the air on 1st down, May. Dump off caught by his back. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Dose of the hurry up here.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line.
This is Henderson on 2nd down. And he could not break beyond the line, so that's how our half's going to end. Now here's Davis to kick this away. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. Good field position for the Patriots as they get set for 1st and 10. Starting on the ground with Henderson. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now second down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Here's made in the air. Completed over the middle. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's a New England first down. They give now to Henderson. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. May now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And the gain only about 2 before he heads out. That means they're going to face 3rd down.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Finds him over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
First down, May. Right side and into the hands of Douglas. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. They gain 11 on that play. And the Patriots will have a first down.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
It's Henderson on the give. Saw the lead, hit it quick, call that a gain of 7. Nicely done.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Here goes that.
Sticking with Henderson. And he's dropped just short the marker, maybe a yard away.
Not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
We're good.
Staying on the ground here with Henderson. They sent him right up the gut, but he wasn't able to get anywhere. The defense braced for impact, and they made the stop. It's 4th down.
A gain of 1. It's 4th down and less than a yard.
All right, they made the red zone, and it's touchdown or bust, it seems. They're lining up to go for this.
Here goes that.
Running for it, it's Henderson. And the defense escapes. They had a nice run going, but the defense gets off the field by forcing that turnover on downs.
You know, it's almost like the defense heard that call in their helmet themselves. They dialed up the perfect blitz to encircle and cut off that run. And their reward is getting off the field.
Running it with Hampton. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
At the 18-yard line.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Herbert now. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice game.
This defense, they had a plan. And they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Throw here, 3rd down. A quick slant, here's McConkey. And some excellent work to drive them all the way out past the 30-yard line. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
A gain of 14. And the Chargers first
New
down.
set of downs for them from the 31. First and 10. Here's Hampton. And hopefully a bit of a wake-up for their ground game. It's a solid pickup there on the play. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Really good patience right there. It's hard to do for runners in this league because these holes close up so fast. But he was patient. He was explosive. He got a nice little gain on the ground.
It's Hampton on 2nd. And that's not what the offense dialed up. They stick him for a loss. It's going to be 3rd down.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Couldn't connect with LAC McConkey. And now they're staring at 4th and long. The Chargers lined up in punt formation. And he wants to hit his 2nd effort just as well as he hit his 1st. Brings it in at the 12. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return.
At their own 13-yard line.
Patriots lining up. It's 1st and 10. Anderson's going to take this straight ahead. Hit behind the line. That ball's loose. But I think a Patriot got on top of that, so they will keep possession. Ooh, so close to a big play defensively there, Brock. But now these guys got to stay out there. They were unable to bring in the fumble. They just forced.
They do. Got to bring a little bit of juice. But kind of like a boxer when they get a guy cut, they know. Man, if I get that first cut, I can make them bleed. And you get that ball out the first time, I guarantee you, I promise you, those guys are thinking they'll get it next.
Taken in by Williams outright. And they're going to bring him down after his play rips off quite a chunk of yardage there, up to the 30. That play good for 17 and a first down. And that right there is about the best you could hope for against double coverage. Good chunk of yards, and more importantly, Brock, you don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and two guys can't stop one.
And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Brought down on the effort by Derwin James.
They got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Complete out to the right side. And he'll be out of bounds right along the 40. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
2nd and 6.
So we're through 3 here. It's the Patriots with possession, needing to erase that deficit in a hurry. Four yards on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 6. May now. Drop this to Henderson underneath. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
So a new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10. And 2nd down is going to be a good bit tougher. He can't even get back to the line. This play loses yards. Well, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that run the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you call 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Here's May. And back-to-back passes that should have been intercepted. 2 great chances to take it away. Both of them dropped, Brock, and now they stay out there for 3rd down. Well, this goes for every player in every sport, Brock. Fatigue in the 4th quarter. So that can mean dropped interceptions just as much as it can mean a dropped catch, too.
And believe it or not, Kate, quarterbacks, they can get fatigued too.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much physically as their buddies running around and hitting, but mentally. You just get tired there as a passer. You start to assume, and that's a dangerous place to play.
Maybe a little rattled after that near interception. Let's see how he plays this on 3rd and long. 3rd and long for him here. Got Williams, and it's complete. And that's a solid stop there to limit the damage. Gave up some, but it's still 4th down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
LA bringing the offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10.
Set. Ready.
Here's Hampton, open the drive. And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
To the right, pulled in by McConkey. And he's going to be brought down over the 28-yard line.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
3rd and just 2 to go.
Set. Go.
They'll run it here with Hampton. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 26. And that's going to give the Chargers a 1st down.
Even with everything he racked up on that run, you could argue he deserved maybe a little bit more. That call was the perfect one to break for big yards. The only thing that saved the defense from a score was getting that contact to slow him down and eventually, finally, stop him.
1st and 10 now from the 46.
Set. Set.
Out of the gun, here's Hampton. And this play doesn't work out like the last snap, right? So you can only get back to the line as the defense all over this one.
These big D tackles in this league, they love weaponizing their size right in the middle of the field. It is so hard to clear lane against them. And once he got his paw on him, it was dead on arrival.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10.
Set. Grenade. Set.
To throw, Herbert. Fits it through the middle. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. It's a gain of 22. And that's going to be good for an LA 1st down. Defenders in the area, they still make the connection, Brock. It almost looked like it was just another throw on the practice field.
Yeah, this is how you just develop that just trust factor, that connection. We see it with QBs and tight ends, and the best of them make it look easy.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. Ready.
Now a shotgun handoff to Brooks. And he's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're sent backwards on 1st down. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run. Well, he already has himself 1 interception in his game, partner, and throws like that are going to find him another if he isn't careful.
Yep, those are the throws you want to intersperse and sprinkle into your passing game, because if they become the norm and you're constantly thrown into coverage, that's when 1 pick becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, and on and on.
Herbert here, 3rd and long. Short pass brought in, and he's brought down at the 17-yard line.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes, they so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
Kicked well, and this is good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a 1-score ball game.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them the lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Okay, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are and what they have to defend.
Now here's Davis to kick this away. And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball up at the 35 to begin this drive. Good field position for the Patriots as they get set for 1st and 10.
Here goes the
Trying an inside give to Henderson. And the stop is made just before he's able to reach that midfield strike. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from 1st down to 1st down in just 1 play. But when you get that big play potential on the ground, geez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
First down throw for May. And that's going to fall incomplete. They wanted to get it right back to him after that run, but no luck on that throw.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
After the incompletion, they come up on 2nd and 10. Back to the air. It's May. Complete over the middle. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
He'll throw it. Complete beyond the marker. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 12 on that one. And that's a New England first down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10. Here's the pistol snap to May. Setting up the screen with Henderson. That screen sniffed out quickly, shut down behind the line.
I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that first down because you call a screen on first, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, well, that defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
We've reached the 2-minute warning in Foxborough. Patriots trail by 6. They break the huddle. It's 2nd down now. Here's May again. Tight end reels in the shallow throw. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
Finds his man over the middle. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Patriots will have a first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Henderson on 1st and 10. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
Charvarius Ward on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8.
17-yard line.
Back to throw. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target. Demario Douglas, the intended target. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Bronk. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
Here he is to throw. Toward the end zone, but incomplete. That's going to force them into a 4th down decision. So they take their shot for the end zone, Brock, rather than focusing on that first down marker. And now they've got a decision to make.
Yeah, I think with that incompletion, they made the decision. You better send that field goal team on. They took their shot. They just couldn't finish it.
Timeout taken by the Patriots. They're 1st and 3. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Hands are tied. Got to have it on this 4th down.
Ready, what's that?
Just get it in the pocket. Come on, be patient.
Desperation time here. He finds him beyond the marker. He's not going to get to the end zone. The stop is made in time at the 2, but hey, 4 more chances coming. They've got a first and goal.
First and goal.
Now we're going to have a timeout by New England. It's second. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal. First and goal. They've got 4 chances to tie this one up. Henderson. And he can only manage 1 yard. The defenders were at the ready to bring him down. Patriots trying to hustle everyone up to the line.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up second and goal.
He'll look to throw it. And they connect on the touchdown to claw back in these final moments. And an extra point will win this game. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
And he gets the extra point, and that kick gives them the 1-point lead right near the end of this game.
14. Chargers 13. Andy Borregales to kick off for New England.
Now Borregales on to send it away. Return starts at the 3. And he's brought down just inside the 25.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Starting out trips right here. First and 10. Setting up to pass. Maybe a bit of desperation. Here's a deep shot. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock. Couldn't make the connection. Was looking for Ladd McConkey. And it's going to be second down.
That was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
Here he goes, one final shot. Trying to push deep downfield. And this one falls incomplete. No miracles on the final drop today. This game is over. So this is a win for the Patriots. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner Brock Heward and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots emerge as winners, as with that, we'll sign off from New England.